And I'd like to welcome my guest, David Clark. How you doing?
Yes, welcome. Yes, I'm here.
It's lovely to see you. Now, David, I hear from the last time that we spoke that you were wanting to take the opera into Winchester Prison. Can you tell me about this and how's it going?
Yes, I can. And recently I paid a visit to the governor of H&P Aylesbury, a young person's prison, where my brother Michael and I spent time. This was with a view to tell our story as a punk rock opera to prison inmates. Now, in principle, we have an agreement to perform this opera next year in the prison to two showings to two separate lots of 100 inmates at a time in their gymnasium. Also, Winchester Prison has been in the news last year with some bad reports.
And I feel we could assist in the changes for the better that needs to take place, and I thought a different approach in this process of rehabilitation might help. So I wrote to the Governor with a proposal. I also shared our vision with Caroline Dinage, the MP from Gosport, Mark Hoban, the MP from Fareham, and both of them were enthusiastic about supporting us and our project. Caroline said she wanted to attend the first performance. Mark Hoban then wrote to Dave Rogers, MP, the new governor of Winchester Prison, supporting me my request.
That sounds really good. And you got support from anyone else?
I have, yes. My book has been sent to over 30 prison chaplains, and the new edition has been specially written for prison inmates, and it takes into account the criticisms that were made for the first draft of the book.
And as a result, over 250 copies have been sent to 20 prisons in the UK this past December.
Oh, and by the way, Prince Charles has written to thank me for the copy that I sent him and for keeping him informed of the work that we're doing with the punk rock opera and our desire to help prison inmates. I've also had a request for over 400 copies from prison inmates from various prisons, including H&P Belmarsh, H&P Parkhurst, H&P Manchester and Risley and others, and we intend to provide these copies free of charge to inmates, so we're looking for some means of funding that project.
David, I hear from the last time that we spoke that there's been some interesting developments on the project.
Well, yes, there has, yes. David Rogers, the governor for Winchester Prison, has directed me to Gary Wright, who is the head of reducing reoffending in the Ministry of Justice, and he says that he's sure he will be pleased to look at ways in which Winchester may be able to host this event. Not only that, but Steve Bryan, the MP from Winchester, has contacted me, offering any support that we need.
That sounds very good. So can you now tell me what qualifications you have and why you think you can be able to help in influencing criminals to avoid
recidivism is the word.
Recidivism.
That's right, yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, I'm a lecturer, right? And I've taught in colleges of further and higher education to all classes of people, including many Muslims and other religious groups for over 20 years. 2, I'm a Baptist minister. 3, my brother, after 5 years into his 16-year sentence, turned his life around and back on crime in New Bilibid Prison in the Philippines in September 2000. 3, this prompted me to publish my first book, and after that, Michael and I did extensive work with many former convicted criminals in the jails of the Philippines with significant success. We have written about this in our book, Trojan Warriors. 4, we created and formed the first ever teacher training college in the world within a maximum security prison, that's New Bilibid Prison, in 2002. This was to train and help in the process of rehabilitation of former convicted notorious criminals. 5, we sent and supported our first graduate, we called him a Trojan Warrior, back to his own city. His name's William Pollock, C. Pollock, a former killer who served 14 years for killing a policeman during a gun run-in and where he got his leg blown off. He now has only one leg. He's just one inmate of many in New Bilibid Prison who we helped. Now, our incorporation, Trojan Horse International, sent him back home to his city in Baguio, and he's worked in Baguio City jails, Benguet provincial jails for several years and have founded 2 churches and a theological school in Baguio City since 2002. Now 6, My brother and I are qualified convicted criminals, and we've turned our lives around. And a tongue-in-cheek note to this, Dave Courtney, who you may know or may not, signs his name with the title OBE. Right, we can both say we have a title like that, but we call it QBE, which means qualified by experience, which very few in the correction industry have. So we've worn the T-shirt, we've done the bird, and we know what we're talking about. Now, the last one is, I shared my story recently in H&P Lewis and to over 50 inmates, and even one of the inmates wrote to me and has offered me some good ideas to help others in the prison.
Well, that sounds very encouraging. I understand that you had some more recent encouragement as well, David.
Well, yes, but let me say at this stage, I wanted to say that my brother actually died in the jail in New Billing Prison in 2005 before our vision of helping many came to fruition. However, I've shared recently what we're doing to those prison chaplains I've already mentioned, and they're over 30, and already I've had emails of encouragement from prison chaplains, including David Weller, HMP Oakwood, who says he's certainly interested in bringing our punk rock opera into Oakwood. Also, Elizabeth Stockholm, HMP South Yorkshire, has also asked for if our opera is going on tour, and of course it is, and she'd like to get the chance to get clearance to get the opera performed in her prison too. So it looks good, and so we got some support.
Well, that sounds very promising. I feel sure this project will be successful and a real help in helping others turn their lives around in crime prevention.
Last thing, yeah, can I just add something,
Terry?
Terry?
Yes, you go for it. Yes.
Right, in the interest of helping others and all kinds of inmates, I've recently gone to see the chief imam, the leader of the Portsmouth Jamai Mosque, and he's offered his support to our project of offering input by means of education to help those in the process of recidivism. I spoke to him. He knows that I'm a Christian. He's a Muslim, but I've put it to him that it's education is important, and if a man can educate himself and learn to read himself, he can make his own decisions, decide the right way when he's fully informed. That's why we're going for the point of education.
I'd like to wish you all the best in the future.
Okay, thank you.